Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 542. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
Humans.
and Brian Majoma.
What up? What up?
All right, guys, you already know. Back with another one. Shout out to Tumeke. He goes, I blame Tony for Xbox's failure. Not sure why. Oh, man. That may have something to do with the title of our episode tonight. But yeah, welcome back to another episode. Rich said he's going to be late because he went to some wrestling show. And then there's a Beyonce show happening nearby, so it may take him a while. Manny, so you said you had something similar to you happen?
Yeah, I was on the way back from, it was either a concert. Oh, okay, yeah. It was when I went to see Bear McQuarrie in New York City.
Yeah.
I did a, one and done, came in and came back on the same day. And like, it was an insane amount of people wearing like cowboy hats and stuff, all getting off at like Madison Square Garden. So I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Anyway, we went to the concert, same thing in the evening. Then I realized, oh, everybody went to that Beyonce concert because it was in Madison Square Garden. They were getting off at Penn Station to go to Shea Stadium.
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah,
held at Shea Stadium. So yeah, so that's what will happen. So it was like the crowds were insane. But I would say this, because of the concert, and especially since it's in New York at the time, they actually, New Jersey Transit essentially, bumped up the trains, the amount of trains.
Oh, that's good.
There. So I got home late, but I got home quick because there were more trains in the evening.
That's cool.
I like how Manny still calls it Shea Stadium. Yo, man, keeping it alive.
That's it. Yeah.
City Field.
Yeah, it's City Field because it is a whole new building. It's not just Shea Stadium.
Yeah, no, they literally built City Field in the parking lot of Shea Stadium.
Fucking insane.
Shea Stadium.
Get ready for the Etihad.
That's
across the street. That's going to be that one, the NYCFC Stadium, 2027. They were
I know.
You could see it from the people sending from flights when they're in the plane. They could look down and see the fields already. The pillars are coming up.
Oh, is that the shit they've been building?
Yeah, man. You get in the stadium.
Okay.
That's the one that they kicked out all those junkyards that were over there.
Oh, wow.
They didn't kick them out. They paid and relocated a lot of them to the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
There's one that they showed. He had like almost a duplicate of everything he had in Queens. And they just like, yo, we pick your shit up and we're moving you.
That's crazy. Yeah, because again, last year, obviously, when the whole thing was going on with my mom, I kept going back and forth. And obviously, we're driving up to Grand Central, which is right by LaGuardia. And I'm like, the fuck are they building there? I had no idea.
Get ready, man, Tony. I don't know what your view is from your building.
Oh, from here, I don't see that.
Level.
Yeah.
You don't see it. Okay, if you were behind... I'll send you the images that they have of the plan. Remember the Domino building?
Yeah.
Right, the sugar company. They want to put a big neon sign like that on the top with the logo. And they said they're only going to have it on during games. But they want the whole city like a bat signal. They want everyone in the boroughs to know there's a game going on and have this big light.
That'll be interesting because I want to see because I live in Long Island City. That's really far. I don't know if I could see that far. Like even from my roof, I don't know if I'll be able to see that far into Queens, But
I can't wait. I'm going. Probably not for the first game because those are also at least within the first season, 2027. Once they announce all the tickets, right now they're just doing for season tickets. But once they announce open tickets, boom, getting them going. I have to go for the first season.
No, fuck yeah, we can hang out again.
Yep. There we go.
Right. I'm glad we were just talking about all this stuff because now Brett's here and I think we got the full crew more or less if Rich shows up, So with that, what's going on, Brett? How you doing, brother?
Good. How's everybody?
All right, doing good. All right, man. So now that you're here, we get started. So let's get into it. First question for Mr. Jolly Yellow Nerd. All right. You guys recently talked about how Phil Spencer took responsibility over Red Fail and how he listened to people telling him it was coming along rather than checking for himself. Is that a larger spread problem at Xbox? Is Phil Spencer too trusting of the mid-level management and doesn't look in on projects himself? I feel like if Phil had been actively involved with the teams and reviewing their progress, Perfect Dark wouldn't have taken almost 10 years to produce anything. The thing is, that's not his responsibility to look at every single project himself. It's the people under him that are supposed to tell him. So they fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
They were like, everything's fine, you know?
Yeah, the thing about it is just like he
It's good.
you know, as his role is to run the main business. He can't just be sitting down going down to every single studio and be like, hey, so what are you doing?
Knocking on the doors.
Knocking on the door. No, go ahead.
There's a delegation of responsibility between like C-level executives, and then you have your E-level and lower. There's supposed to be people that report to him what's going on. So somewhere along the chain, somebody was lying, right? Or multiple people are lying, but you don't know. He can't go investigate every studio himself and be like, all right, fire up the alpha version so I could see what the hell's happening. Like, he has higher level business stuff to take care of. So you trust people under you. Think about this, like, you think Doug Bowser or Reggie is going to Japan inspecting every title that NCL's putting out? No, they can't. They got big things to do here. Like, you have delegation of responsibility, and those tiers are supposed to report up to you, and you hope is what they're telling you is accurate. And what we found out, probably what they were telling him was not accurate at all. Probably like complete fiction.
So that's why they talked about getting rid of middle management and all that shit. It was like, you know what? Heads are gonna roll. I'm pissed. Yeah. These games are coming out garbage.
Exactly,
some of them aren't even coming out.
That's my theory, is that they finally figure it. Oh my god! Every time I say this, I feel so bad, because every time before this, it was like every other group got the fucking axe first, and then they finally went, "Oh, it's the managers who suck." Like, yes, it's mostly the managers who suck, and I think a lot of the heads that rolled in that were kind of in response to that. It just sucks that developers have to pay the price.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's like, I know, Phil Spencer is the boss and the buck should stop with him, but it's not, he realistically can't go to every studio under him, knock on their doors and see how they're doing. It's up to the people under him to tell him, and they fucked up. They didn't tell him what was going on. They were like, oh, everything's fine. So, like, because people are saying that Phil Spencer was going on like, podcasts or doing interviews that he was lying about. It's like, he knew about the projects. No, he didn't. He didn't know at all. Yeah, no.
No, he didn't. And honestly, that's, I think, a bit of a problem. Like, in these big companies, I don't know that they have an executive gamer. Like, I don't know if they have anybody who even has the talent to, like, go in and play early alpha versions of games and tell whether they have, potential. As somebody who's, like, played around the early access division for a while now, like, after a while, you kind of have to learn, like, when when the bones are good and when the bones aren't good, and what is a good update schedule. Like Valheim, fantastic game, right? But if that shit were out on early access, like taking 8 years to make that game, like no. But like the way that they did it, sure, they released a roadmap, they did early access, that works for some games, but I don't think that Phil Spencer, even if he even if he did go to all these places and get down and sit down in a room with Redfall, I know Phil Spencer is whatever, a gamer or something, but like, would he have, if you gave him 2 to 3 hours of Redfall, like if you gave him a night or two with Redfall, do you think he'd come back and be like, okay, here's my note, half of this is absolute garbage, and the other half is most likely garbage?
Yeah, that's not realistic. He wouldn't do that,
I don't think he has that skill set, and that's kind of the thing. Like, it's something that baffles me, right? Like the fact that that writers writing for like big movie studios don't have nerds on hand to go, actually, that lore is wrong, right?
Well, they discourage that now. They discourage that.
I know they do. That's what I'm saying. It baffles me that they don't do that. It baffles me major game companies don't have gamers on hand to actually test it shit and see if that's okay thing. And it baffles me that they don't run any like public image slash sign slash brand past a group of 13-year-olds to figure out if it looks like tits or not. Right? Like those should be the big things that you're like, hey, just hire people who know about the things that you're looking for, right? Like I'm sure we've all seen a brand or a logo or something like that. We're like, how the fuck did this make it to production? Like this is one of the worst things that I've ever seen. Or I don't think that there's a gamer executive who goes and looks at these games. I think that there needs to be. I think that there needs to be, gaming inquisitor who goes from studio to studio, playing the game and checking the assets and all that. But I don't
That's
think
supposed to
there
be
is.
Matt Booty.
You think so?
Oh,
Is it Mama Booty?
that's what they're saying in the chat as well. And what you're saying, Brett, isn't. Here's the thing: Microsoft or Xbox is so big. I don't know if they can do that, but it has been a thing. I'm forgetting the name of the guy who used to do that for Nintendo. Adam, we read about him in the book. He would play every game himself and tell the higher ups, "Yo, this shit is good. This shit is ass."
And didn't he work in like the mailroom or something like that? It was like he was just a really good gamer, and
he would even answer the fucking calls to give people tips and shit if they were stuck.
So then they just gave him a whole job. He had a bow tie or something like that, right? There was something.
That was him. So that has been a thing. It would be nice if we could incorporate that again into these bigger companies, But again, there's probably so much nepotism going on and shit that they just hire. Hey, I know that guy. Steve knows that guy. He says it's good. I'll hire him. And you got to understand this: the people who tell Phil Spencer that the games are good have people that tell them that the game is good. It's like it just keeps going on and on and on and on.
Here's the middle management problem that's going around. And when you're working for the development studio, you're essentially what everyone, and this is every single job in every type of workforce, you're supposed to tell the people you're creating the product for that everything's good. We good. That's the whole purpose of it. Even when it's bad, they have to say it's good because that's what the bosses want to hear. But you need oversight over all of that. So if it's let's say Phil Spencer, like you guys have talked about, Phil Spencer does not, like, that's not his job. To be managing every single game and reviewing and seeing, oh, does this work? What about this level? That's not his job. But he's supposed to have people under him that are reviewing all the titles to make sure that they are set to be, to be primed for, representing the company and the brand. And it doesn't seem like either that doesn't happen or the people that are doing it are not really good at reviewing it. And also, a lot of these studios, right or wrong, are getting a lot of leeway. Like you guys mentioned, Perfect Dark had a huge leash of years that it was developing until they canned it. I mean, even Fable is going on. How many years has been since Fable got announced?
Shit.
Like at least 6 years.
Yeah.
So, should it have been, canned already, or will a successful product come out in a couple of years? Who knows? But that's the whole thing that's going, like, that has to happen. And I just feel like those people that work under Phil that are supposed to, investigate all these games aren't really doing a good job at it.
Yeah. Blitz goes, how does Xbox get it so wrong after all these years? Bad management. Bad management.
Not
just here. What about the Zune and all the other
the Microsoft in general?
Created?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way it is with them.
Yeah.
It's a thing that can happen with acquisitions, right? Like when you acquire a company, you have a lot of redundancy, and you have to spend so much time and effort figuring out how to merge two systems and which system stays and which one gets absorbed into the other one, and there's a lot of job redundancies, and honestly, a good manager is going to know who to keep and how to do that. But we don't live in a world of a lot of good managers. We live in a world of fucking nepotism and failing upwards, it seems. So it seems like when, you know, the company grows and they need to trim back, like, okay, now they have, 7 accountants. They don't need 7 accountants, so they need to get rid of 3 of them. Well, they got rid of the best 3 accountants because they made the most money, and now they're left with the 4 moron accountants, and they're wondering why they can't make the numbers. I think it's that kind of situation where we have seen the best of the studios be acquired and then pushed out of their own studios or leave their own studios. We've seen top talent being bled out until, there's honestly the leftover, right? Like if you're not great at your job, you're not going to be, rushing out there to try and, do new things and make new projects, right? Like it's the goers and the getters are the ones that move, right? And I'm not saying that the people who stay in place and just quietly do their job are not good at it, because there are a lot of fantastic people who just do that. But I am saying that a lot of times, like creative directors or big personalities or big creatives, they tend to be more willing to move around. And so after a while of shuffling the deck enough times, you just kind of end up with a bunch of merit-based hires, or not merit-based hires. Just people that you picked up along the way to fill in the gaps. It's if you keep trading out your your star players, rookie players, and then eventually you just got a team that kind of just sucks. And now we have a whole world of developers who are unable to create the magic of the games that they used to make. They're not even as talented as they used to be. Mass Effect can't make another Mass Effect. BioWare can't make another Mass Effect.
Yeah, they don't have
They're
the
a
same
bigger
people.
and more successful company. Well, yeah, but they're a bigger and more successful company by every metric, right? And they can put 4 times as much money.
Well,
into
they're a bigger company. I don't know about more successful.
Okay, true. Well, I mean, financially successful.
Are they? I don't know about that. They've been losing a lot of money.
And
Look at Dragon Age.
Bombed.
Yeah, Dragon Age, ultra bombed.
Lost.
That's true. Well, I mean, Dragon Age is actually kind of a perfect example of like the budget on Dragon Age was, and yes, I've dropped the S because it doesn't fucking deserve it.
Damn right. That bullshit.
So Dragon Age.
Yes, is a tournament of endearment.
It was. It had the budget of several of its predecessors. Dragon Age 2 was thrown together like a year and a half, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Like the turnaround development time on it was stupid. They gave them no time, and they still managed to make a banger because they had a lot of talent.
Yep.
And now you can put untalented people in a room and shower them with money and resources and human resources and Sweet Baby Ink backing and all that shit, and you're just gonna come out with a garbage game, right? Like you just don't have the talent at your company that you used to. And we could sit here, and I guess I took the long way around because I could sit there and postulate on why that's the case, for hours. But it all comes down to y'all don't have the talent that you used to.
Yeah.
Straight up.
All right, man.
It doesn't matter how much budget you get.
Yeah, no, exactly. If you're a hack, you're a hack. All right, let's move on. Next question here. Also from Jolly Yellow Nerd, also about Xbox. This is a theory he tossed around. I actually answered it in Discord. We can answer it again here. Sony started in Japan and developed a presence in the United States. Nintendo started in Japan and developed a presence in the United States. Meanwhile, Xbox started in the United States and has had a hard time developing a presence outside the States. Can we take this to mean that American corporate culture had a hand in why Xbox is in such dire straits now? Not necessarily. For Japan, it's just, remember, there's been a long kind of stigma. It's still kind of there. Western games are shit. Western consoles are shit. So they're not going to adopt, Xbox very readily. And obviously, since Xbox is a American like console, it did, I should say, do well in the States for one generation at least. But I don't think it's because of the way their corporate is like structured. I think it's just the way I think Nintendo and PlayStation generally make games that have global appeal, whereas Xbox, they mainly make games that appeal to Americans. I think that's what's really at the heart of it,
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And, now that the Xbox name is so entrenched, when they do try to branch out, like they have many times, we're going to try to bring your JRPGs, we're going to try to bring you this. Xbox fans don't want to hear it. They don't care.
Once it became about the Halos and the Call of Duties, that's only that the hardcore of the hardcore type of idea. Once it gained that identity, that assumed identity, then it was difficult for it to essentially do it, because it's not like they didn't try.
Yeah, they tried.
They literally got the creator of Final Fantasy to make make 2 fucking games for them.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Nobody bought them.
And nobody bought them. Was it Eternal Sonata or something like that? And Blue Dragon?
Yeah,
Blue Dragon. Lost Odyssey. Yes.
Odyssey.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So that's what it really is. It's more that Nintendo and PlayStation, generally speaking, make global games. Xbox generally makes American-based games.
I mean,
so
okay,
Brett, remember, keyword Brett, generally. I'm not saying all, generally.
No, I know. But there's a couple key points in here. One, like Western RPGs did take off in Japan for a while, so much that like it was kind of one of those where a lot of RPG studios were kind of looking at, making theirs a little bit more Western for broader appeal. And also, Japan is a nationalistically proud country and people, right? They would rather promote a domestic product than a foreign product. And I know that like it comes across a little weird because like we really don't give a shit in America, but like that has a lot. I mean, it doesn't have nothing to do with it, right? So Microsoft would really have to just wow them because they're going uphill. And between PlayStation and Nintendo, they pretty much have all their bases covered. PlayStation actually adopted a lot of those, Western RPG things, and so now they basically took the part that they wanted. They're making that part now too, so they can make God of War, they can make Horizon. They don't, they can also make Final Fantasy. They can make turn-based stuff. So they don't really need the West, and there's not a good reason for the West to kind of be accepted.
You guys bring up good points, but I will add one thing to the equation.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different factors that you guys brought up, but I think one of the most important ones is Japan cares more about being successful in the U.S. than the U.S. cares about being successful in Japan.
Absolutely.
Because this is the money pot. This is the creme de la creme. If you can make it there, they'll make it. They make songs about this stuff. But I feel like that's another one.
Well, it's because the United States in general is a huge market. You literally, like, if you look at the sizes of most countries, right? The legitimate sizes of how many people there are across their country. Our country is bigger than most, and it's a plus and a minus, because
it's the size of Oklahoma, all of England. Just one state.
Exactly. So it's like you have countries like that. So, but the thing is, it's a both a plus and a minus. It's a plus because if your product is able to do really good over here, if you're from another country, you're making a huge amount of money. But the minus is you can't do specialized specialized items and events and things in the United States. And this is from experience working at a big studio. Is that was explained to me the reason why you'll see like really cool little things like in places like France or places like Japan where they have a special edition of a certain product, or you have a special console and all that stuff, because those markets are smaller markets, and in order to do something here in the United States you have to go big. And if it doesn't do well, then they would have wasted a shitload of money in order to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why we don't get everything specialized little things over here in the States as much as you would see, let's say, somewhere else. Even though places studios say, hey, we did offer it to them. Like if they're a Japanese company, like, oh yeah, we did offer that special thing to them, but you just never did. It's like, because you got to talk about logistics here in the United States. We're bigger than bigger than any other country, and
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But the other thing I wanted to bring up, because yes, obviously, if you like Carlos said, you make it here, you can make it anywhere. But global sales still do matter, though. Think about it like this, right? During the 360 era, the Xbox 360 beat the PS3 in America, but worldwide, the PS3 still won. And I still think it goes back to that global appeal. Like Xbox is obviously. Europeans buy Xbox, but PlayStation is still more popular there, and it's also because PlayStation's just been around
Xbox
longer.
Big in Mexico for some reason.
What happened? I believe it is. I believe Xbox is pretty big in Mexico, and also Brazil, pretty big down there as well. As I know, because I've had a lot of Brazilian Xbox guys come after me, But yeah, there are pockets for sure. But generally speaking, PlayStation and Nintendo kind of have things on lock globally,
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes, even aside from any culture, like PlayStation is trouncing Xbox, and I think honestly, this Xbox just tripped so hard again that like I don't know if there's ever a recovery from this at this point.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's hard, man.
Every time they started to do well, it's like they had to lean forward and stick a stick in the spokes of their own bike. I don't fucking understand you, Xbox, and that's why I'm moving.
I feel like again, I think it goes back to like there were interviews with the essentially the heads of Xbox back in the day, right? And they were talking about once before and after. I forgot, it was a really a good interview I think Kotaku had done with like the guy who was part of the third party who got a bunch of Japanese companies and all those things over onto Xbox early on. And he said that once in the beginning, Microsoft was very much about hey, get as many things as we can out there, giving everybody really good deals in order to just get something on the console to attract people over. But as soon as they hit something like a Halo, then everybody pivoted over there, and then it's okay, make more of those.
Yeah.
So it's not only just the it's not only just that, it's just also internally they're looking at the numbers and they're like, no, we just keep pushing on that thing, keep pushing that button. And I feel like after that, after that happened, it just sort of made them not invest in any of those things. And then now we're so far gone down the line. Now the only association is that part of things. And I wish that's part of the reason why I keep saying about Xbox is they really need to just move away from that term in general. Rebrand their whole division into something else. To be honest, at this point in time, the Xbox should just be the box. Don't even call it Xbox division. Just say the unit is the Xbox and we're Microsoft Gaming, and just call it that, Microsoft Gaming. Yeah. It's kind of like what's the name of their stupid tablet?
Oh, the Surface.
Surface.
Yeah, there's no whole division called Surface. The Surface is the device.
Well, there is a division called for Surface because there's a Surface laptop and a Surface tablet. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's all that level of stuff. But I definitely think that they really should just push the Xbox name aside and really rebrand.
That's a bad stigma.
Division.
Yeah. No, I agree, Kishak. And what's going on, brother? He goes, Microsoft gaming isn't that catchy. I agree, but Xbox has the stigma. It even sounds dated too. It's like
Xbox.
Yeah.
You realize that there are people who are gaming now who have never been alive to see the Xbox succeed.
Yeah. You're 100% right about that. Because the Xbox was successful between 2005, right, and 2013. So 8 years, basically, right? So you could have somebody literally born in like 2014 or something that's like 11 years old now. Never even know.
Those 12 to 14-year-old players playing Fortnite right now, they're like, what? I don't understand why anybody ever thought Xbox could do anything. Like back then, young one.
Bro, you're right. It's like all they've known is Xbox as just this shit company,
Well, that's a good question, Adam. You have kids. What do they think about Xbox? Do they have any? Is there like a stigma around it? I know you're kind of. Maybe you're indoctrinating them into the.
My son. No, I mean my son plays on a PlayStation 5. I gave him that one. Remember, I don't use it, so he plays Fortnite on it. But he plays the Xbox. He's playing it today. We have the racing wheel downstairs, so he plays that, all the Forza, and he's playing this game. Something T-pose or something T's. You're stuck. The character's
in the T-pose.
In the T-pose. Yeah, he's been playing that, and that's on Game Pass. So it's a thing, and he has other buddies. He has 2 friends that's all they have is an Xbox. So when they come over, they just play that. They're familiar with the controller and stuff like that. Because he tried to get them to play Fortnite on the PlayStation. I'm like, they're not used to the controller.
Interesting.
So yeah. So and he's 8 years old. So his other buddy is 8, 9 years old.
That's wild. All right, man. Let's move on here. Alpha Chuck, another question about Xbox. After the latest round of layoffs, are there any Microsoft first-party IPs that you still have faith in? Their track record over the past 10 years has been abysmal, with Indiana Jones being their best title in that time frame, at least in my opinion. Why should we have faith that they are now going to produce better quality? I have zero confidence that Fable or State of Decay will be anything better than okay, if they even release at all. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead, bro.
I gotta ask, why does canceling games make you worried about that? If anything, it to me it would sound the other way, because I know they're I said about Onimusha. There were several things off the top of my head. But to me, it sounds like they killed a bunch of projects that have been in development hell, and I don't really see how that would make me worried about the projects that they have actually releasing. Because we saw that Showcase looked pretty good. There seemed to be a fair amount of games that made it through the meat grinder without the entire team being laid off. The shit we saw, teams being laid off or games being canceled were things stuck in development hell or years down the road. So.
But what if you've been a person that's looked forward to games that have just been canceled, even going back as far as Scalebound? You know what I'm saying? So I understand where the question's coming from. It's like, if you've had a bunch of games that you've looked forward to that have just been axed, what's going to give you the confidence that the next game that you are hyped for will not be cut?
I mean, I guess maybe I'm being the dick here, but what games were axed that people were really looking forward to?
Perfect Dark. People wanted to play that fucking game, and Scalebound, for example. I know that's further back, but still,
Did you see all the stuff that came out from one of the developers on Twitter or X? And he was trying to, because people were saying that it was fake, that whole trailer that we saw with the parkour was fake.
Yeah.
And now he's working on a different game. And he said it was only him and like 2 other people that did that. And he's like, no, it's majority of it is real. That parkour, all the stuff. Now some of the background stuff that wasn't part of it, but there was some gameplay mechanics. It was real, but it wasn't far along, and it had issues. So that's somebody who worked on the project. So as much as we can say, oh well, they cut these games and they were so far ahead. Not all the time. There's problems with these games, which is why they're in development hell for so long, and then eventually you have to pull the plug.
Yeah. But, I understand his meaning, and if my answer to you is don't have faith in any Xbox studio game, because you never know. It might get cut.
You know what? Let's go back to the old days where the only way we got news was from a magazine or a newspaper, and they only told you what they wanted you to know. Think of all the things that got cut that we never knew about for Nintendo games. Think of all the drama, like what we found out with the console wars. We didn't know that then. We didn't know that how ruthless Nintendo was with blocking companies from selling and
but at the same time, there were games that were announced that never came out in magazines and shit. You just see that all the time.
Exactly. They just disappeared. And it's like, oh well, that's it. We didn't know the back end. And then once you find out, then you see things different, and then you get real judgy and you hate everything. And
well, we can't go back to those days, That's just how it is.
And unfortunately, those days had a lot of games come out. So
that is true.
We had more things to worry about. But you're right. You're right. We're more privy to the back end of all of it. I mean, in this show, we can talk about the financials. So we're deep into the weeds. So there's really, once the internet age hit, we're consuming all this information that
I'm glad magicians still keep that curtain closed. I don't need to know how people get run over by trucks and stuff and survive. I just want to be amazed, and I'm like, oh, you want to know how it's done? Nope, I don't. I think you could really levitate, and I'm going to stick with that, Mr. Chris Angel. I don't need to be
believing in magic.
That's it. I want to believe in something more than what we have, and I will go with that. So,
magic.
I do.
That's interesting. I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't care about the magic trick. I want to know how the magic trick is done. That I find that more fascinating.
But that ruins it because most of the time it's really simple. Like I have,
but I like that, because like, for example, if a guy is floating, I don't believe the guy's floating. I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. How are you doing that? And then I find the explanation more simple, especially if it's simple. It's like, oh yeah, he just has a hook here. I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
Adam is into the kayfabe. That's
you gotta do it. I mean, think about it. That's the whole thing with watching wrestling. People that don't watch pro wrestling, like, why are they filling out stadiums? What don't they know it's fake? It's like, we know dragons don't exist. Why do we watch Game of Thrones?
Well,
it's the same thing. We want to be fooled and entertained.
But even with wrestling, though, it's like, I know it's fake, but it's fun watching dudes do that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like if you think about medieval times, everybody knows that medieval fucking times is fake.
Yeah.
But medieval times is not going to insult your intelligence and say that it's not. They play it all off. You see any of the knights in the like doing Comic Cons, they're like, what are we doing in this strange place? Like they won't.
I went a month ago to one, and it was like they were doing a joust, and the guy got it off the horse, and he said, what should I do? And they're like, kill. I said, yes, murder, the blood. And he's like, I will kill him in front of the children. And they were getting crazy, and everyone's laughing and stuff. Like,
that's funny.
So
Kid Shot goes, I'm guessing Tony liked Magic's biggest secrets finally revealed with the masked magician. That was good.
That dude. He got blackballed for that.
That was good.
He did get blackballed. They figured out who he was, and they're like, oh, out.
I find that more interesting because, again, you're like, oh, let's cut the woman in half. They're not cutting that bitch in half. That's fake. I want to know how they did it.
Easy. Get somebody else in the bottom part.
Anyway, I think we're straying off here. Don't have faith in any Xbox studio. That's my answer. In general, don't have faith in anything because it may die on you, bro. Always be skeptical, Always be skeptical. That's my life. That's my life rule, man. Try not to get excited for shit. As a matter of fact, expect the worst and be pleasantly surprised if it doesn't turn out that bad. But if it does turn bad, then you're already prepared for it. So you're good.
The most depressing is seeing people really complain and up in arms about disc rot. Because it's all about, I want physical, and then you'll always read, especially on Reddit, someone will put a comment like, I just opened up one of my game cases that I haven't opened in a few years. It's got disk rot. It doesn't work anymore. And no one wants to hear that because, you store your stuff. That's the whole thing, right? Go physical, forget digital. Go physical, forget digital. Well, then your shit isn't going to last forever.
You open up the fucking disc, it looks like the dude from RoboCop. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, fucked up.
It's true. Or how many times, I mean, whoever here has a car has experienced this at some point. You leave some discs in the car, it's cold, you go back in, next you know the shit cracked or it's damaged, it's got like a film on it. Like, what happened? It was in the case. It was too cold. It was too cold in the car and it just killed it.
Kisha goes, I learned that lesson young, so you won't end up disappointed later. That's how it is, man. Because I used to be like that. I used to get hyped for stuff. Then I'd be disappointed. Then I'm like, Tony, just stop getting hyped for stuff. It works out really well, You'll
never, the thing that you have in your head will never match up to whatever the reality is. So just take it as it is.
You guys the Saturday night sketch.
Yeah. But I know you disagree. You and I have had like disagreements about this topic.
Lower expectations. Yeah. Don't buy into the hype with all when they do the big reveals and the propaganda and they play all the new hot songs and the trailers and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get. Don't do it because that's what it's there for. It's there to build that, to get the endorphins running and to get you to click the button to buy, pre-order. Take a step back. Go look outside or something and then come back with clear eyes and be like, you know what? I don't need that. Or that's not really going to be that good. They're hyping it. The trailer looks better than the actual gameplay. We used to see it all the time.
Yeah.
Look at Killzone. Remember Killzone?
We all got caught up in the
man, I was like, listen, I don't play first-person shooters. I'm buying that motherfucker day one, and then...
Remember the Division?
I didn't even have a PlayStation 2 for that one, a 3, and I was like, damn, I think I need to get one.
I'm like, this is crazy. And then obviously, when you saw the real footage, you're like, oh, shit.
Hey, Carlos, is that gameplay?
Is that gameplay?
Is that gameplay?
Remember, oh my God, Watch Dogs, bruh?
That's what I'm saying.
Watch Dogs.
Oh, Alien Space Marines, remember that?
Man.
I mean, the list goes on and on. So many that we saw. We got hyped, and then when you finally it gets released, you're like, yo, what the hell is this shit?
What happened?
Is this...
What happened?
Well, it's like gameplay.
It's like, but the thing is, it's not what happened. It's really a lot of that. This goes back to the E3 presentations and making a really sexy presentation.
Kishak just said that in the chat.
A lot of that shit is smoke and mirrors, where it's they found people that we knew this, but a lot of those really cool gameplay sequences are all on fucking rails too. Not long ago, they somebody managed to get their hands on one of the Call of Duty presentations. And it was just, everything was on rails. All they did was just hold forward and they could move a little bit, but every single thing would happen exactly as it would happen on the screen. So it was all just, trigger based. So you hit a zone and then boom, 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 something happens. Then you turn around, all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's just what the developer said about Perfect Dark. He said that was it. That's what they had, is what you saw, and that was it. You couldn't go down the street, the aisles. Oh, what happened if you climbed the other building? There wasn't no other building
there. It was just the whole
man, you basically described like those fucking spruced up, nice looking hamburgers they have in the commercials. If you were to see what's actually in that, you'd be disgusted. There's fucking glue in that shit. There's all this fake stuff.
Yeah, it's like, they're only it's just like a movie set, right? They're only made to look good from one angle. The minute that you turn away from the thing, and this is partially the reason why they would never let people play these things, because as soon as a person got their hands on it, they're going to go against the grain and not go down the corridor. Which a lot of people talk. I never got to see the Cyberpunk demo live, but everybody who saw it said it was amazing. It was this, it was that.
You remember Paris's reaction?
We remember Paris's reaction, but one thing that's obviously has never gone through through on anything is how much of that was just the facade.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the only person playing that is the developer that knows which way to go. So that means that there's a good chance that most of that shit is just why they could have so many people running around on the screen like that, or why they could have the detail that they could have on there is because there's nothing further than the part that you see.
Yep. Kishak says the E3 of Dreams 2015. Yeah, Manny and I were there. Chris was there too, I believe.
Yep.
That was hype. And some of those games, some of them were better than others. Shenmue 3 was not as good as we wanted it to be. Glass Guardian was pretty good. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was pretty good too.
Mighty Number 9.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Was that there? Mighty Number 9 wasn't there.
I don't know, but that was another one we were hyped for, and By the way, Kishak says it's like that Homer Simpson meme of him being all skinny in the front, but all his fat is tied in the back.
Yeah. What was it? The Dead Space producer that left and started his own.
God.
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol was so hyped. It was like, oh man, okay, no, this didn't hit.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on. Kishak, we had a question from you, brother. Do you guys think that if the Stop Killing Games initiative were to pass, it would make games more expensive to make and therefore cause the developers to pass on the rising cost to the community? Well, right now, this initiative is only for Europe, so it's not, we wouldn't be beholden to it necessarily. But at the same time, as we saw when the European Union or whatever forced iPhones to have USB-C, that was worldwide. But
remember the refunds, digital refunds. We don't have that. For digital games, they get refunds.
Well, no, I mean it's like the one that went all over the place is you see it on every single website. The cookies one, that's also a European Union thing too.
Yeah,
or a UK thing. Where now every single time you have to agree or disagree to have your data collect, which makes sense.
What a cook is and shit. Remember Bernie Mac? It's a comedy.
Yeah. So it's
him downstairs.
Sort of I would think, to be honest, I think that this would affect the rest of gaming or cost. I think it will.
Yeah, if companies have to pay to keep these servers going. Infinity,
it's not paying to keep the servers running. By the way, it's not any of that. It's essentially not taking, in other words, closing it down in a way that doesn't make them not available.
Yeah.
In other words, they don't currently. This is only for PlayStation 3 because PlayStation 3 was peer-to-peer, right? Currently, they have you remember PlayStation Home. They got it working. They got like 200 and something environments in PlayStation Home to work, and you can download it on your PlayStation, and it also works with emulators. So being that it has it's peer-to-peer and you have that thing, they started that up. So they're sort of saying that sort of idea. So if you took the idea of Concord, because they just totally destroyed it, right? What if Concord was still able? The people that had Concord were still able to have access to it and then do things to it to get it to work from peer to peer or external server that's not on PlayStation.
Yeah. So why would that? Yeah, why would that? Because I guess what I'm confused about, and forgive me if I don't know enough about this. How would it raise costs for developers then?
It would not.
It wouldn't. Yeah.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't raise costs. It would just mean that they would, when they're about to close down everything, they just need to throw a patch on the end of it saying to not connect to this side of the server, and you can still run around in all of the maps with just one player, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Or games.
Okay. So you know about the whole pirate software debacle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of that is misinformation that comes from pirate software deliberately spreading that kind of misinformation, saying if you're playing a multiplayer game like World of Warcraft, that they'd have to rebalance everything to be a single player game, and they would have to make it so all the assets loaded, and then it could load on just your game instead of having to dial on a system. Which no, that's not true. They could just literally say, "Here's World of Warcraft. Here's the open source code. You can like put it on a server, and other people can dial into it. We're done with it, and then just walk away and not support it anymore."
That's
right. Like you just need to go ahead.
No, you keep going. Sorry, I'll jump in after.
I was gonna say it's like if you're not going to use a patent, you just need to make the patent publicly available, kind of thing. Like you just need to make the source code of the game available, so even MMOs don't have to be rebalanced. There's no extra work that needs to go into turning anything into a single player game. They don't even have to release it technically in a playable state. They just have to kind of have the source code and have that available to the public, so that the public can then tweak it and try and get it back up and running as a community effort.
So
the thing about
go ahead. Yeah, because no, again, my question is like, why? So Brett, is the question coming because of the misinformation that Pirate Software guy is spreading?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm confused. I'm like, why would it raise costs? But I'm guessing if he's telling people it's going to raise costs, maybe that's why people think that.
He's telling people that they're going to have to rebalance games before they shutter studios. So like he's saying like if you did shut down World of Warcraft, that they would have to spend a bunch of development time going through and rebalancing the whole game to be a single player game, and that's not the case. They would just release the source code.
Yeah.
Right. Like, or if they're like, oh well, Concord, right? Like it's supposed to connect to. It's not a peer-to-peer. It's connect to a host. Like, okay, so they could either change it to be peer-to-peer with very little tweaking, or even then to be like, it's a host-based game. Rent out a host. That's not our fucking problem. Here's your
Manny, I know you want to go, but so now I understand why people hate this guy, because if I'm understanding the whole Stop Killing Games initiative, they're not asking for online only games to be made into single player games. They're not asking that at all. So if this dude is telling people that this is what they want, he's fucking lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Yeah, no wonder people don't like him.
Or he doesn't understand it.
Yeah, well, he claims he's the developer,
I think he understands it. He's just deflecting and changing the argument to make it sound different.
Yeah.
He's trying to argue against the initiative, which he really can't. Brett's points are valid, right? So he has to change the argument and be like, oh, you want live service games to become single-player games. It's like, no, nobody's asking for that. They're asking that their game that they've been playing for 10, 15 years online, you're going to shut it down and it becomes useless and unplayable. You do something so that it's not lost, right? That's all they're asking.
Yeah. And that's the way I understand. Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead, Carlos. Go ahead.
And what Brett mentioned isn't something new. That's something that's been done for decades now.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Halo 3 or Halo 2 was peer to peer. So you would have a actual player would host the game. That's a pretty big way to cheat. By the way.
You just.
Maybe they call it the standby glitch. You used to go next to your modem, play Halo, and just hit the standby button. Everyone would lag except you.
Oh wow!
So that so that's that used to go around.
It was like a Motorola one that had it. Then eventually they stopped removing that button. Yeah.
Yep, I had that's the exact same one I had, Motorola one. So and don't ask me if I did that. It's something that it's like a compromise. I mean, if you're not gonna, if Microsoft or whatever studio or publisher or whatever that's hosting the servers aren't gonna host it anymore, gonna pay for it, then let the people host their own servers, because it's a way to just keep it going. It doesn't really make sense to just have it cease to exist.
Yeah. Kishak says, would it be an IP abandonment if they gave the community the game, and wouldn't publishers have issues with that?
Well, the biggest issue of all of this is because they can't make any money off it. That's the main reason off of this.
They're already abandoning the IP.
They're already banning it, but the thing
it's
is,
not
that
IP lost. It's just that title. Right?
Yeah,
They're gonna,
it's just the IP lost. But
But
yeah,
and it's also server.
The thing about it is, it's like, again, like, I think even if people are active, they still want to be able to generate money off of it. Like, it doesn't matter if there's just if it's a bunch of people that have gotten it running on. They want to just still make something off of that. They want to make their microtransactions. They want to do all of that sort of stuff. This is the same situation that we're in when it comes to the preservation of games, right? Where all the game studios do not want to make any of that stuff available, even if they're games that have long gone, games that where their teams have been lost. They don't even have the source code anymore. They don't want anybody to touch that stuff.
Yeah, remember they wanted to put some games in like some library or public library or whatever.
Yeah.
And the developers literally said, no, we don't want that because we can't make money off of them. They literally said that.
Yeah, okay. But however, I do have to point out, this is not about that. This is about continuing to own games that you've already paid for.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so they could take a game off of the Steam store and make it no longer for sale. But if you bought the game, they can't just stop you from playing it. Full stop.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, this is important, like, because I've bitched about how there was a show called Final Space that I really enjoyed. I bought all 3 seasons, cost me $75, and then Amazon decided that they wanted to pull it from all of their streaming services and cancel the show so that they could use its production costs as a tax write-off, and it was ripped out of my library. And I just can never watch it again. It's not in any library anywhere. The show has been scrubbed off the internet. It's fucking deplorable, but moreover,
your money back?
$75 from it.
They don't do that.
There was, who was it? I think it was Sony that was doing that when they
Warner Brothers did it.
And they started giving some money back. They started giving credit toward other stuff on their services or plans, whatever, for that.
Yeah, no, I called and talked to customer service. They told me, unfortunately, it was no longer available on the platform, and that basically told me I didn't own it. So
you got a license, and then the part. I mean, the thing about it, that's any sort of games now, especially like, with the way these games are going, how the big controversy with Microsoft is that none of their titles that are released on disc have the full games on them anymore. Where games like Indiana Jones only has 2 gigs or something like that of actual game data or something like that on there.
Yeah.
And then it has to just download the rest of it from online. There's a whole site devoted to there's a whole site that's called Does It Work? In other words, everything that's on a disc it is actually a version of the game that can actually legitimately work on a thing. It's not half a game. It's not a game that needs a stupid patch, a day one patch. It is what it is.
We talk about that all the time, right? How many of these games ship broken? And it's like, oh, you need the day one patch. Oh, is the multiplayer going to work with the day one patch? Is there a menu issue with the day one patch? We fix that. The buttons actually work with the controller. Oh, screwed that one up. What if you don't have the internet? What if the network no longer exists?
No game for you.
That's an interesting one too. Like future preservation.
They don't care about that.
How many games? Granted, where there's still quite a bit of PlayStation 3 games that still work, but like PlayStation 4 era games where that became like a thing where you had to download your patches and you do all that stuff, or some games that have to literally call home just for you to play them. They have a sort of DRM on them that you don't know about. So if the servers are down, maybe we've experienced that, right, Tony?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Everybody's experienced. It was like when the PlayStation Network went down and we attempted to play certain games and they didn't work. Games that were single player games.
Yeah, it sucked, man. Oh, by the way,
they do that to make sure it's not a copy, that it's not a bootleg. They said, I remember that was their explanation for the whole thing. I was like, well, we just want to make sure it's not a bootleg copy that you're playing.
Yeah, by the way, Kishak in the chat says, I think the biggest opposers to this initiative would be the mobile developers because those games die more than on console or PC. I don't see anyone talking about mobile. That's a good
Nobody
point.
cares about
Yeah,
mobile.
I think that's what it is. Nobody
cares
cares.
about mobile in that way.
Yeah.
The thing about the mobile players in general, the way they treat gaming is a lot different than
more disposable.
They're more disposable. They're just looking for for something to keep them occupied while they're fucking sitting at a toilet in a fucking waiting room. They don't give a shit. They're not married to this game. If the game goes offline, then all right, whatever. They'll move on to the next thing. They're not really that connected to it. But maybe a few, but I don't think it's
you're right.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, the level of investment is different,
It's different.
Yeah, Flappy Bird lives forever.
I spent 99 cents on this game. You need to make sure it works.
Like, think about that. Apple Arcade, you don't ever hear anything about that. Like, is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still it's still a thing, and Apple keeps pushing it as a thing, but nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Oh, we got 3 questions from one of our most loyal fans, Mr. Romudeth. Very curious
Mr.
tonight.
Romulan.
Asking all these questions. And I noticed a theme of his questions tonight. They're all targeted towards specific people on the podcast. Very interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, this is why I talk bad about him.
But it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff.
Okay. All right.
I heard this dude was hardcore platinum trophies up the wazoo.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that he actually got 2 platinums this week. So good for you, sir.
And both on the Nintendo Switch. That's why I don't believe it. Like platinums on the Switch. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
All right. So first question here, Chris. What are your thoughts about the FBI seizing video game pirating sites? Do you feel this is a wise use of our tax dollars? So, yeah, we talked about this on the Thursday show, and the main theme was like, man, we wish we had Chris here to talk about this shit. So, what do you think about this whole situation, man?
Oh, I think there's way bigger fish for them to be frying than going after video game piracy sites. That's ridiculous. I mean, you think about all the stuff that the FBI is supposed to be covering, all their priorities. I mean, you got counterterrorism in terms of cybercrime. There are way bigger important things. You have online fraud. You have data breaches. You have state-sponsored hacking, ransomware, all that stuff, right? And to brag about it, like, oh, we shut down this site, and then they throw out a number, which is completely ridiculous. This is the stuff that the ESA or Nintendo would come up with. Well, there's if you have 3.2 million downloads over like 4 months of the usage of these sites, and each game costs $60, then we lost $170 million.
Fuck out of here.
Like, when do you ever have a one-to-one conversion? Oh, if they didn't have access to these sites, they would have just purchased the game, which is complete bullshit. All those that throwing out that number is ridiculous. You just fed it from whoever, whatever group sponsored this action, right? And it's within the industry, and it makes no sense. It's like I doubt that half that number is true. So these people just there's an accessibility issue with the games, and they turn to these sites. They never intended to buy it, and they never would. But in terms of priorities, it's ridiculous that this is something they're bragging about now. There's like so many bigger things happening, so many things that the FBI should and do look into. Like this is like small potatoes. It's ridiculous. I don't advocate for piracy, but just like, oh, look what we did. I'm like, great. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I get probably 5 mails this year from medical companies and banks like, oh, your data got stolen. Maybe you want to use TransUnion and Equifax. So I go, oh, thanks. Great.
Oh, man.
Thanks for signing me up for a year of that. Like, you have all these data breaches, all this stuff. I never heard of anybody getting caught. When's the FBI going to brag about that? You'd be like, oh, we caught the guy who stole every social security number in the United States.
Oh, shit.
I haven't heard that news, but, oh, you busted it's like low-hanging fruit, like very low-hanging fruit. And I think it's a complete waste of time.
Yep. To Mecca, he goes, they need to be finding the Epstein files.
Oh.
That's it. There's nothing in the files. You heard the report. There's nothing there.
Nothing there. You're still talking about it? You're still talking about it? That was years ago. Oh, man. Yeah, no, but I agree that this whole thing is stupid. The FBI should be, using their time for something. Like, my tax dollars are going for this shit, really? It's stupid, All right. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, video game piracy sites or fentanyl trafficking.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Stupid. All right, another one. Oh, Carlos, this question for you. Has the phrase world economic conditions become the new because of COVID in the games industry when it comes to excuses?
I haven't seen that. I mean, well, to be fair, everything's connected these days. So anytime, I mean, even COVID, it was everyone was going through it. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to inflation, when it comes to when the economy went down in the the late 2000s, it was a worldwide thing. So everyone kind of references it. It's like, when the economy went down in the late 2000s, like everyone in the world would know that date, or they all felt the same ramifications. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be part of the laundry list of things that they will use for these types of excuses.
Yeah, because we're seeing it right now. It's like, because of world economic conditions, we have to raise the price of game consoles that have been out for 5 years.
Oh yeah, all the tariffs.
I didn't get that from COVID. I thought they were talking about with tariffs and stuff like that. That's what I was getting.
No, it's just in general. For years we've heard, because of COVID, development, this, that, or the other thing. Now it's like because of the world economic condition, now we have to raise prices on everything. It's like there's always something with you guys,
Oh, and there's always going to be something. I'll put a pin on something on this that I'll talk later, but yeah, there's always an excuse.
Yeah.
How come when economic conditions aren't favorable, I don't see a price reduction?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, the Dow's doing great. Can games go down to $50?
Yeah, because think about it. World economic conditions should also be a good thing too, right? So if world economic conditions are favorable, are the prices going to drop? We know they're not.
Should treat it like gas. They should treat it like gas because gas does drop. So you could see it go to the pump and see it for like $4 or $5, and then next week go $3.50. I'm like, yeah, there you go. That's what they should do with gas.
That's all I'm asking for is consistency. It only goes in one direction.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit, man.
We ain't never. They all these places all blowing out all of their prices because of economic conditions. We ain't gonna get any of that shit back.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're at a recession. Economic conditions suggest that you should drop fucking prices.
But look, this is where I have to give credit where credit's due. Mind's Eye decided to lower down the prices because the economy's been doing good. So gotta give them credit.
Yeah, man. What is it? $39 now?
There we go. Give it another week or two. $19.99.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I have. The question I have. I get when times are tough, you need to tighten your belt a little. Maybe even have to raise your price. What year is it that gaming didn't make record-breaking revenue in the last 25 years? Because I'm having trouble figuring that one out.
And that's the biggest point, and that answers Chris's question is when Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, or any company, any big corporation tells their especially public ones tell their investors that they've generated X amount of revenue. It's like, the most amount of revenue. Well, what the investors want is more revenue than the following year. So if the economy is great and they generated $8 billion of net profit, well, the next year they're gonna want more than $8 billion in profit. So that's just how it goes, and that's why they don't lower down the price because they don't want to go down and then their stock will tank, and then shit hits the fan and stuff. So that's mostly how all that works. Plus, they're greedy. They want to make as much money as they can. That's their purpose.
Yeah, but it makes it also fucking disingenuous, right? They're like, "Oh, things are tough.
Yeah.
We got to raise our prices." Like, but you've had record profits for, like Brett said, 25 fucking years. Don't give me that shit that it's tough now. Oh, we have to raise the price of the fucking Xbox by $100. Word, because you just told me that your fucking stock went up again. So you're not hurting. Fuck out of here. It's stupid. Now I'm mad.
I'm mad.
I'm mad.
All right. The last question here from Mr. Ramudeth. It's for me. Look at this.
Whoa.
Okay, Tony, you've often said that you turn into a retro gamer if you ever became completely dissatisfied with modern gaming. What do the hands on the Doomsday Clock now say? They say the name of one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs, 2 minutes till midnight. Like, it is like bleak right now, bro. This is how bad it's getting. This is how bad it's getting.
Doomsday Clock still going on in 14th Street?
Yeah, I don't know about 14th Street, but the Doomsday Clock, they did move it closer, like about a year ago, by a couple of seconds or whatever. But yeah, no, with some exceptions like Death Stranding and stuff, I've, no secret, I've become very dissatisfied with current gaming. And yeah, I'm getting to that point. You know what I always get these fixations every 6 months or so that ends up with me buying a bunch of stuff. Thankfully, I just hit a fixation that I can't indulge in because I don't have space for it. I've been looking at a bunch of CRT TVs. I can't buy one because I don't have space for it, but I'll let you know, I want to go back. I want to go back to when gaming was like good, And it's even gotten to the point, I was up yesterday till like 3:30 a.m., bro, on the fucking Nintendo Switch 2, playing some old fucking games, man. Like I signed up for the service, the online expansion shit, just playing games. They got a really good CRT filter, and that made me happy. I'm getting very tired of this shit. And one of the points, this might piss off some of the fans, after that fucking Ghost of Yote fucking presentation, I'm like, really? This all we're gonna be getting, bro? Just another example of just how pathetic this generation has been. So you know what? There's plenty of old shit to play. Whether it be through like subscription services or maybe buying some physical shit. Bro, I've been, this is how bad it's getting. I spent the last week playing fucking Super Mario 3D World, bro. I'm like, listen, is this how it's gonna be now? I've gotten so dissatisfied with AAA gaming that I'm gonna have to turn to fucking Nintendo of all companies. This is how desperate times call what desperate means, bro.
You've seen it all, Tony. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link. If you want to see the end of the internet, you click that. It shows you it's the last website. It says it's the end of the internet. You've seen it all, and that's the way you feel about video games. You've been there, done that. You played every type of game, a shooter, a mystery, a puzzle. We've done it all. There is nothing else to wow you. I feel like that all the time, which is why I spend so much time playing footy ball on my damn console.
No, I really think it's the quality of these games, man. They're just really bad. But obviously, I'm not going to be like my 20-year-old self where it's like, oh, I'm done with gaming. That's not going to happen. But there's plenty of old stuff to play, and enjoy. And thankfully, since again, to my point, since all the new games are basically shit, we're getting all these re-releases, so I'm getting my fix anyway. So it's all good. I was playing fucking Sonic Mania, man, on fucking Switch again. And I'm like, this is what's missing from games, man. Fucking passion. You could tell the love they had, developers poured into every single bit of that game. You don't really see that anymore with the new stuff. It's just buy product, consume product. We're in a bad state of affairs, man. But again, this isn't fucking new. I've been screaming about this shit for 5 fucking years.
Got too big. It got too big.
You're right, because everything has to be very corporate. Applebee's of gaming. Every game has to satisfy X number of people. Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. And the fact that I'm playing on a fucking Nintendo console more than a PlayStation console over the past week, that lets you know something is very wrong with the fucking industry. you know. So yeah, man, retro games, bro.
Come live in the woods. You can come live in the woods with me and Brian.
No, oh, you mean indie games? I'm good, bro. I'm good. I've been in those woods, and I'm okay. You know. But to your point, Brett,
you talk about games made out of made with passion. Like, bro, like some of the games in the indie space surpass some of the games in the AAA space.
I've never played a single indie game that surpassed anything AAA. And I remember most of the games I reviewed in my career have been indie games. None of them have come close. None of them. You know, they're just not for me. You know, that's just how it is. Like, oh, I'm going to go play another fucking roguelike. I'm going to play another Metroidvania. I'm going to play another pixel art game. I'm going to play another fucking, point-and-click adventure game.
What you're talking about doing.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the shit I used to play, fucking Streets of Rage and Contra and Castlevania, that type of shit. You know, why would I play a knockoff when I could just play the original? You know,
because you can only play the original so many times before you find things like it.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna go to a knockoff Castlevania, at the end of it, I'm gonna be like, I should have just played Castlevania. You know what I mean? I'm not getting what I want. You know what I'm saying?
You did. He said if you finish it a bunch of times, then you just want that same experience in a new coat of paint. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, but I don't want. It's like fuck the new coat of paint. I just go for the old one. You know.
Bro, I'll tell you. In some ways,
you don't like replaying games.
Castlevania.
No, I played that, so I don't like that. I don't like fucking roguelikes. I don't like that shit. You know. So like, indie games don't really have anything for me, bro. You know. So now I gotta fuck with Nintendo. Isn't that insane? You know.
Okay.
But
Expedition 33, like, would that count as an indie game for you?
Which one?
Expedition 33.
Probably. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like the lines are fucking blurring. Like
yeah. Well, but Expedition 33. The only reason I'm not playing it is because I don't like parrying. You know, like I'm curious about it, but I'm like parrying in general.
No. I get that, but I'm saying like indie games are starting to, especially because like a lot of people have access to Unreal 5 at this point. Like it's not hard to make a game look fucking gorgeous. It really isn't. Oh
no, I think what you're talking about, Brett, might be more viable for me in 5 years, maybe closer, right? Because we get more games like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I'm talking about
by the time the mainstream collapses, I think you'll be able to go into AA just fine without Blink.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. See, I wasn't going where you were going because remember, you and I think very differently. I'm very present focused. You're very future focused, right? I'm thinking about the current present of indie games, and it's not that fun. I don't like it. But 5 years from now, it could be good. You know. So I leave that door open. You know.
I mean, also, there is the option of going back, man.
I am. That's what I'm doing now. Going back.
I mean, going back to shit that you haven't played. There's quite a bit of things that, like, from some of these companies, especially with how busy you've been with work, have you just been totally like, no, I haven't played it.
Yeah.
So
no, you're 100% right.
Is it the thing? Like you literally have a Steam library of all of that.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. It's like I don't have to play modern games. I got so many, but Manny, that still falls under not all of them, but that still would fall under the retro thing. Remember, fucking PlayStation 2 games. Excuse me. PlayStation 3 games now fall under fucking retro. You know. So it's like, what's 15 years and shit. You know.
I mean, thing about it, it's like the one thing is. I don't see any problem with going back.
Mm-hmm.
Going back, even something that's maybe like 5 years ago that you didn't play, or you still have sitting in your Steam library or your PlayStation library that you never bothered because that's because you were too busy playing the new. The thing about it is I know you're
100% right. Yeah.
I know the landscape is about the new, but it doesn't need to be that. It can be a bit wider and you just go, you know what? The current landscape is not doing anything for you. All right, you play so-and-so game from a few years ago, or go back and play an older game.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. For almost the past year, what have I been playing most of the time? Fighting games, old and new.
Old
you know,
fighting games,
old fighting games. So I've already been doing this shit. You know.
You literally played fighting games that you had never played classically.
Yep. CVS 2. Yep.
Yeah. You either didn't have the means, or you just never had that. Different. Just you weren't interested in at the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, there's plenty of stuff. So yes, I think I've already been doing it just without realizing it.
Yeah, you've already been doing it.
I've already been doing it. But yeah, gaming is just modern gaming. It was like whack, bro.
Listen, the way I always look at it, and the way I play these things. It takes me a long time to do it nowadays. But the way I just look at it, there's no, and I'm sure Brian sees it the way there's no expiration date on any of this stuff. If the current landscape is not doing what you need to do, that doesn't mean that there isn't a bunch of shit that you missed out on that you just like, all right, fire it up.
I mean, that's what I've been doing with Super Mario 3D World. That game's fucking 15 years old. I'm having a great time. What happened, Carlos?
Is it that old?
It is. I think it came out in 2011, like Super Mario 3D World. Remember, it was originally a Wii U game.
Yeah.
Damn, time flies, man.
Yeah, let me look this up real quick. Super Mario 3D World. It came out because I remember back in the day, I was like, "Oh, I want a game." Oh, it's fucking on Wii U. Okay, so not 2011, 2013.
Okay.
No, that's
so Manny, see, I've already been doing it. Been playing the old games. There you go.
Back and playing.
I've been doing it. I've been playing Death Stranding.
Bro,
yeah, that's a 5-year-old game,
5
son.
years.
That's dinosaur years.
Yeah. But no, thank you for telling me to look at my abandoned Steam games, because there's a lot of them, bruh.
There's a lot of them in there. You had some sale. I'm like, even back then, I'm like, hey, dude, why are you buying this game?
$2.
$2.
You know what I was doing, Manny? I was preparing for now. You know. Go ahead.
and they post free games almost every day. I'm always sending Brett and Chris free games every time I come.
Blitz says, hence why I ditched my PS5 a year or two back. Torrance did the same thing. He gave his PS5 away, so it's like he's done. You know. What were you gonna say, Carlos?
You can. I'll give you some recommendations right here. Shout out to Brett. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Armor Core 6. Fires of Rubicon. These are newer games.
You're looking through your own list, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just telling you the games that I haven't played yet. Except Armor Core 6. Armor Core 6 I did play. I didn't beat it though, but I did play a lot. Metaphor.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, man. Pretty fantastic, you know. And again, I probably will try Expedition, but really the main reason, like, man, parrying, bruh, fuck, you know. But you
can dodge. That's another alternative.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, let's move on. Go ahead, Brett.
Game or something?
What happened?
Did they just make an advanced game or something?
An advanced game?
There is Expanse.
Oh yes.
It's like a Telltale Games, or what used to be Telltale. The studio formerly known as Telltale, I guess. I don't know.
Brett got deflated real quick. Telltale.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a new Expanse game.
I think Brian's right.
I guess it's texting you, but okay, but yeah. Tony.
Yeah, what's up?
Wait, I have a question for Tony because it's relevant. At what point does a game become retro?
20 years. 20 years.
Okay.
Because that's the usual for classic. Classic in general, things become, it's after 20 years. That's not my rule. That's just the general rule.
Damn it.
Which means that you won't get to...
You haven't played a game about digging a hole, so you don't know.
Wait, what happened? Is that 20 years?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
There's a game literally called a game about digging a hole. You would hate it.
Okay. Brian, what's your other question?
Which means that you won't get to The Witcher 3 until 2035.
Yeah. I gave it a good college try. But I will count that as a game I need to go back to. You know?
How was the Cyberpunk expansion?
As a matter of fact, Cyberpunk. Oh, it's fucking awesome. Phantom Liberty.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's fucking amazing. You know.
I'm excited. I got that on my Steam sale last.
Yeah, you'll dig that. You know.
Top 10 games of the last 10 years, man, for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, bro, you want to talk about like going back to play a game? I'm going back to play Red Dead 2.
There you go.
You're going back.
Brett, you're speaking my language.
You went back to?
That was one of the casualties. No, that's one of the casualties.
Oh, the vacation casualties.
Yeah, the vacation casualty. I played like 4 hours of it, and then I went on vacation, and that's it. It died.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not abandoning new games. Obviously, I'll still be playing. I'm going to be playing that motherfucking Donkey Kong when it drops. You know, Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. I think I'm going to be disappointed by that fucking game, man.
Tony,
I'll probably end up playing it, but I don't know, bro. Go ahead, Ben.
Let me speak for Richard Bailey Jr.
Oh yeah,
I know he's been wanting to say
right
this. Shout out to Richard Bailey Jr. He just came back from the Beyonce concert. I hope it was good. The Sea of Stars.
What is? Oh,
So that's on my list too.
I got to look into that because I know Richard's been talking about it, but I don't even know what type of game that is.
old school pixel RPG.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds cool. There's still a bunch of like, there's still a bunch of JRPGs from back in the. One of my, because I didn't play a lot of because I did not like those fucking kind of games back in the day.
Hated RPGs.
You know, so there's some I missed like motherfucking Chrono Trigger, which I need to get to. But I got to play something that's approximating the original one, not that fucking remake. You know. What is it about Yote that's not doing it for you? He's asking me. It looks like more, like I said this on a Thursday show, it looks like more of the same. And I'll be honest, I'm still salty. It's not my motherfucking dude Jin, you know? Like I don't want to play as this fucking bitch. I don't know who the fuck she is. That's really my main gripe. I wanted to continue that story. You're now the ghost of Tsushima. You've become the ghost. Where do we go next? You know, the fucking Mongols are still there, bruh. You know? Nope. We're moving 300 years in the future, and we're doing some revenge story with some random chick. Okay.
I mean, the thing about it is, it's like my thing of it is they really never sold me on this person.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing like. It just seems like more of the same, just with a different skin. So it's like, what is it that why should we want to go on this journey? You know, other than the fact that it has the name of Ghost of,
you know, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's at least my issue with it. And yeah, I feel the same thing with Tony. It's like, it just feels like more of the same, just with a skin change. So why are we going down this road?
Yeah, and we're not bugging because there's a lot of people online that are saying the same thing. You know. By the way, shout out to Richard. You know. Mm-hmm. All right, man. Another. Okay, let's move on. Jay Shep. I know that this generation isn't over yet, but can you rank the console generations from fucking Google? Hold on. From greatest to least. For fighting games. For example, the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis generation is ranked whatever because they had these fighting games. I'm not going to do the whole ranking stuff. That's just going to be tedious. I will say, okay, Google's giving me some bullshit right now. Fucking, I'm just going to cut to the point. If you want the best console for fighting games, put an asterisk on that. Get a PlayStation 5 because not only do you have access to all the modern shit, but you have access to all the old shit. You know, because even Xbox and Nintendo don't get access to all the games, right? And generally, they make all the accessories for PlayStation as well. You know, so if you want a console for fighting games, PlayStation. However, you want a platform for fighting games, PC, baby. You know, because not only do you get all the shit that PlayStation gets, but you get access to way more fucking fighting games that may not be officially, out there, if you know what I'm saying. You know, and every peripheral that works for pretty much every peripheral works on fucking PC. You know, it's always like PlayStation, PC, Xbox, PC. Like, there's a bunch of there's a lot of really cool stuff happening when it comes to fighting games, and also there's actually less latency on PC games than there are with with PlayStation, for example. Kind of strange, but yeah, if you're like really hardcore serious about fighting games, I would actually suggest the PC. But if you're relegated to consoles, definitely the PS5. Because again, with all these re-releases, you have access to everything now. I think this is actually probably the best generation for fighting games. So you have everything, you know? But obviously, back in the day, I would argue the best console, Manny, you know my answer, the motherfucking Sega Saturn, because you had all the best ports, you had the best controller. But for the current day, you're eating good. Like, you have access to the new shit and old shit. It's great, you know? Oh, yeah, see, to make it, Saturn must have been at the top. PlayStation was not. Those ports were pretty rough, you know? Especially the Marvel games. Like, X-Men or Street Fighter, you couldn't even tag. Like, bruh, you know? All right, and the last question of the night from Mr. Alpha Chuck. This is for Tony, Richard, or anyone who reviews games. Out of curiosity, when you are reviewing games, is it a requirement to make your profile private when playing something yet to be released so people don't see you playing it? Rich, I'll let you answer this one because we're going to have the same answer regardless.
Okay, first and foremost, that is a phenomenal question. And I heard I heard Carlos's comment earlier about a Beyonce concert. I'm going to get you after this this podcast, to Carlos, because no, I wasn't at a Beyonce concert. I was at a wrestling event. But no, so that really depends on who the publisher is, what the game is. Obviously, we have been in certain situations where they will tell you to hide, go private for certain games. I've noticed that mainly with PlayStation. But overall, with the other PR I've dealt with, they don't say anything about, no, you need to turn stuff on in private. It just depends on who you're getting the code from, so on and so forth.
At least on Xbox, it'll block. It'll just say you're at home. So I'll play and people can't even see what I'm playing. And then on PC, I'll just set it to private, because the problem is if you don't have it, especially on PC, then other people will be like, oh, how is that game? Oh, where'd you get it? Oh, how far are you? Oh, I see this stuff is popping up. Oh, did it come out? Is that a bootleg? It's like, so to avoid that, you turn that off. It's like, don't see it. But when it comes to, at least from what I see with Xbox, I'll be playing something and I'm like, yo, what's going on with you? I said, what do you mean? It's like, it just says status at home for like an hour or two. You're not even watching anything. I'm like, I'm playing the game, but it just says status, at home. Like, I'm sure it's happening right now with RoboCop. I don't know what people see when I'm playing that. Probably nothing.
Oh, well, isn't that game already out though? Or
a new one? New one comes out on the 17th. This is the new one.
Oh,
it's a whole new game. It's a
Gotcha, yeah. But yeah, no, these guys are right. Basically, it depends on the company. Sony is probably the biggest one with that. They not only want you to like show yourself as offline, but they want you to untick the game from your like library so people can't even see it. Which is kind of annoying because when the game gets released, then I got to go back and tick it. But yeah, in other companies they don't care. As my personal rule, I will like have myself offline if I'm playing a game that's like, not to be, that isn't released yet. Because, people ask, oh, yo, how'd you get that? How'd you get that? It's like, bitch, I'm a reviewer, right? Come on now, It's funny, man. But yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So that's why, like, you can't go hunting around. Although there are some times where people get caught, I remember with I think it was, this may be why Sony's so strict now, because with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, they didn't have those restrictions, and people actually saw reviewers playing the game, and even seeing what trophies they were getting, You can't do that, but now it's actually to the point where and this is for like every unreleased game, you can't see your own trophies. You can't see them until they pop. It's after the patch comes out, like a day one patch, like you said, Adam. That's when you will actually be able to see your trophies. But there was recent, like I was playing some. You know what? Never mind. I got my own answer. I was going to say I didn't have to deal with that with Death Stranding, but it's because I got the code like 3 days before, which is kind of generally when you're able to see your trophies. But no, because I have people that, you know, they may joke like, oh, you get the platinum. I'm like, I can't get the platinum even if I wanted to. I don't know what the fucking trophies are, you know? But yeah, good question. Little bit of inside baseball for you. And Barry Burton, who did Beyonce wrestle? Oh man, that's funny.
He's like, I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Oh man. I don't know. I'll answer that question. I said I don't know because I went to a wrestling event that was directly across the street from that concert, so I don't know what happened. All I know is I saw a whole bunch of women dressed as cowboys on my way to and from the show.
Same thing. Yep.
Jackie Haas. Well, when this is over, I'll have questions for you, Rich, because I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Just real quick, yes or no? Any surprises? Yes or no?
Yeah, there was a surprise.
Okay, that's cool. All right, that's all right. There we go.
Yep. All right, man. Let's start wrapping this up, man. Let's plug some stuff. Adam, what you got going?
Oh, what's going is Dexter Resurrection over at the TV Terminal. People, this is a big one for me. We're 2 subs away from 700 subs.
Nice.
2 subs away, and I'd be great if it'd be somebody that's a Throwdown listener, viewer. I'll give you a shout out in the next video, give you a like, do the whole thing. This is big. I want to mark these milestones with something special, and I'm putting a little note so every time I hit something big, like, yo, I remember when so-and-so came in, hit this number for me, boom, 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 and then maybe future down the road do something nice for these people, you know, as we keep getting up there. So yeah, 2 away from 700, the TV Terminal. We're covering Dexter Resurrection. 2 episodes dropped today, right? That's out there on Paramount Plus and on Showtime proper. We're also covering the revival still, and then in August, Jason Momoa's new show, Chief of War. A lot of violence. Shout out to Jason Momoa. Holy moly! Did you guys see the Ozzy back to home or come back to home? I'm blanking on the name. Oh man,
yeah, he jumped in the mosh pit.
During Pantera. I'm watching this, right? And he was the host. He was the host of the whole event. And Pantera comes out and he's like, all right, make room in the pit. I'm coming in. But it could be talk, you know. I mean, this is a stadium. This is big, and sure enough, the camera pans, and this dude's in there throwing elbows. Oh my lord, it was amazing, amazing show. I probably one of the best concerts that I've watched in that form. 10 hours though, 10 hours. Metallica, Alice in Chains, Tool, Guns N' Roses.
Mike saw it too. He paid the $30 for it.
Oh, worth every penny. Holy moly. And then just Ozzy and still performing, but he's sitting in his throne because he can't stand up. Yeah. But he still sounds good. And to see everybody on stage one last time, you know, Black Sabbath. It was just an amazing show. Definitely go watch that. But yeah, again, TV Terminal, that's also on YouTube, and then you can find stuff over at the Coalition. But and then some stuff we're working with the games. So I should have my review of Unfinished Business, new RoboCop game. Not DLC, not even an expansion. It's a new game. I know. I'm playing. I was like, oh wait a minute. I thought it was an expansion at first. No, it's a completely like I have my regular RoboCop game, and then it was all they get, and they're not connected at all. So yeah, so far so good. You know, it's RoboCop.
There you go. Good stuff. Yeah, by the way, real quick, I know they had the original Black Sabbath, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, they were all on there. They were playing a little slower. It's funny too because they're older. But man, I forgot you listen to Mastodon, right?
Of course,
the lead singer with the gray and everything. I feel old, and I say, no, when I get all gray, I want to look like this dude. The opening act, he comes out full gray beard, gray hair. You know, I was like, this is it. You know.
This is it. No, it just reminds me. This is for almost 20 years ago and shit. Ozzy was talking about, Black Sabbath. It's like we're like a family, you know. We got Uncle Tony and cousin Giza and fucking Bill Ward.
Even Tom Morello had his kids. Those kids are just as nasty as he is on the guitar. 2 of his boys come out.
Yeah.
they were playing with Jack Black, Mr. Crowley. They
Yeah.
did a Mr. Crowley cover.
Okay.
Oh, it was amazing. Slayer opened up with Disciple. The place went nuts.
No, they came out of retirement, huh?
They've been doing shows in Vegas.
That's funny.
They keep saying not a reunion.
No,
I still think I was talking to Manny about this. The funniest one to me, was No More Tours 2. How are you gonna have a sequel to a farewell tour? Another Ozzy tour. No More Tours 2.
I remember Ministry did that too. They were like, "This is the Adios tour. We're out. We're done."
Yeah.
Farewell. And then a year later, another album back on it. It's like they can't stop. They can't stop. Whether it's money or they just miss the crowd. It's
probably both.
Never retire. Probably both. But man, fantastic show. Fantastic. I started crying a few times.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, because it's like it brings back so much emotion to see. Hell, even Axel, which I've seen videos where they were like, "Oh,
my man's let himself go."
Nope, the dude is skinny. He's running.
Oh, word?
Up and back
Okay.
and forth on the stage. He's singing. He's trying to hit the high. He's got the high pitch, not as clean, but he's doing it. And he was running back and forth. I'm like, damn, this is not the same. I mean, and this is all a benefit. All this was for charity. All this.
Okay, that's cool.
That was the whole issue with Motley Crue not being part of it, and the whole thing. Because apparently,
I don't think you want Motley Crue with fucking Vince Neil sounding the way he sounds.
Well, he was. They said they couldn't. Nikki Sixx said they couldn't make it because of, like you said, and he's got health issues.
Yeah,
that's what they said. But Sharon Osbourne was like, no, they wanted money. They wanted to make a profit out of this. I'm like, no, that's not. That's not what this is about. All the money, it's tons of people, and also it's all going to charity. This is it. This is like a big birthday party saying goodbye to Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
and all the money's going to charity. So they were playing. The rule was like, I think 2 songs and then 1 cover.
Yeah, I noticed that because the set list was like 15 minutes each. Anyway, we could talk about that off air. I could keep going on, but Rich, what's happening with the coalition this weekend? This week, excuse me. I'm all fucked up.
Oh no, you good. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the TV Terminal because as Adam has already said, they are covering Dexter now. That's actually one of my favorite shows as well. So I would encourage.
I think we're getting there. Oh, $6.99. One more, people.
One more. So what platform are people subscribing to?
What do you mean? Where is it? This is YouTube.
Oh, because I just went to YouTube right now. What is the exact name? Because I can't find it.
You can it's front and center. You just type it in the TV Terminal.
TV Terminal.
Yeah, the TV
Maybe
Terminal.
That's what it is.
With space or no space, we got some respect now. Now it comes up if you don't put it together.
Throwdown is already following it, by the way.
See, there we go.
Oh, okay. But I'm not. Adam, I'm about to hit you with that motherfucking 700. Let's go.
Wait, I just did it too.
Let's go. Over the top, Over the top, Sylvester Stallone. We got that big ass arm now, son. Let's go.
All right, I'll bring it up on the next recording. And the next one is going to be a big one for us because that's what Revival and CM Punk is on it. So we're expecting a lot of people tuning in for that just to see because he's acting now. He's doing this whole horror show. So I'll give a shout out, but I already give a shout out. It's also people at Sub, they'll see all the context. I got Throwdown listed. I got Coalition listed. So people know. So, but this is cool. Thank you. There we go.
All right, Rich, you continue. Oh, Brett sent me something about Expanse.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
So it's a real game, Brett, not some point and click bullshit.
Correct. It's from Owlcat Games. They do dope shit.
Okay,
they
that's
made,
good.
Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, and the game looks kind of dope. Way doper than a Telltale game. So
that's
it's like
good.
it's a real game.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
That other one, that Telltale's, that bombed pretty bad. The first episode was solid, and then it was just a gameplay. It was dumb puzzles. It was just not fun to play.
Yeah. Anyway, Richard.
For those of you interested, check it out. It's Expanse Osiris Reborn.
Cool.
So you should be able to find out some information there.
Yeah. All right, Rich, you continue.
So like was said earlier, definitely encourage you all to check out the TV Terminal. As for the Coalition, I want to give a special thanks to Jolly Yellow Nerd and everybody that's been checking out the content over at the Coalition Gaming channel.
Hell yeah.
Because I did a video last week on Dotemu. That video has right now over 7,000 views, and we got 83 new subscribers off that one video.
Nice.
Yes. So, yeah, like I had mentioned before, I was going to be doing a lot more different video content with the gaming, and glad to see so far it's going very well. So I would encourage you all to check it out. And if you have been checking it out, thank you for your continued support. I will be doing more content because there's a couple of games I'm playing right now that I can't really talk about, but I'll just say stay tuned, and I will be able to talk about these games, I want to say, next Monday. So, yeah, stay tuned, and thank you for your continued support.
Good stuff, man. Keep giving them all the love. All right, Manny, what you got?
Yes. So it's all about nostalgia apparently this year. So, Ninja Turtles all covers are out by Carl Randolph and myself. Naruto out. Got a few more on the line. Really cool stuff. I also have my Power Rangers cover, which is coming out pretty soon. So it's a Power Rangers Prime, which is a fully illustrated cover by myself. It's got the new Green Ranger and the VR Troopers on the cover. Not to mention MGS Con in California. That is going to be next month, around I think the 25th, and it's in Ontario, California. The convention center there. This is the biggest one they've done. They're going to have every single voice actor, from the English version of Metal Gear Solid. So from David Hayter over to Laurie Allen, who's the boss. All of the people there, as well as some extra people like Greg Eagles, who's the Cyborg Ninja, and what's his face, Death from the Billy and Mandy show. So yeah, a lot of people there, a bunch of fans. So it's going to be a big old celebration. That's going to be right before the release of Metal Gear Delta. So there's probably going to be a lot of fun things going on. So that's coming up next month. Prepping for the con. I already got my books all ready to go. Solid Zero. I took it out of retirement just for this occasion. So yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Good stuff, man. Metal Gear. All right. So we're done here. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Discord. You can join the Discord group. There's been a couple of new people recently, so I'm happy to see things expanding. So shout out to you guys. And obviously, we're also on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Good weekend, everybody. Or good week. You've got me thrown off.
Yeah, you got all fucked up. Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good week, everybody.
And Brian Manjoma.
Elmo's having a good one.
Wait, who?
Elmo.
Oh, no, I saw that. What the fuck?
Oh, no.
I saw that. No, Elmo the puppet. My man is going. Yeah, my man's having a great time. Fuck. All right, guys. Twitter, bro. Oh, man. All right. We will see you on Thursday. Later.
Laters.
Laters.